Well, guys, man, I tell you, I got some bad news, and gonna have to wait until people are on. So here's what's funny. So look, I have one viewer. It says one viewer, right? But if I look in the chat, there's 7 people in the chat. But it says one viewer, right? Okay. So this is interesting. So the first show I did, let's see. Yeah, Wednesday night. So we had like all these different amounts of viewers and, people coming in and out, people who are curious and stuff like that. And then at the end of the night, it totals it and it shows you concurrent viewers and all that. And just like that, it was like in the 400 views, like boom, right? And so last night, the same thing happened. Same exact, average anywhere from like around 20 to 30 views at any given time, depending on where, what point in the broadcast it was in. That's just during the broadcast alone. But last night's show says it only has 37 views. That's interesting, right? So I just got this channel and they're already messing with it. So this is clearly people at YouTube are not handling it very well. People at Google are not handling it very well, and they're throttling any channel that says Trump on it. So I knew something was wrong, something weird was going on last night because I kept getting all these dislikes. Like you always get one or two. I mean, even on my sports show, you get that. You get people who log in and they just don't like what you're doing. But that is just. It's basically pointless to try to build a following on YouTube if you are not going through the ideology. So what we're going to have to do looks like going forward is we're going to have to start just merging over to Rumble and X because this is not sustainable. Already doing my second show and they are already messing with it like that. So look, it says 1, now it says 3. That's impossible. I mean, there's more than that talking right now in the chat. I mean, this is just pathetic. So let me check something here real quick. Because see, the reason this is a problem because I can't see who's on. So it's difficult to start the program, it's difficult to. I don't want to start getting into things when there's only like 1 or 2 people and nobody's gotten the message. So I rely on that to tell me when I can start. But if they're messing with it, there's nothing I can do. So they've already screwed up my Von Allen Sports channel. There's nothing I can do about it. But man, this happened fast. I have to say, I thought it would take longer, but it's probably because I put Trump victory in the title, and they have a system where anything Trump, positive Trump, boom. Like I said, last night, I thought it was weird. So. I'm just going to wait just a little bit, see. If you guys are watching, if you're here, can you just, even if you don't like to type much in the chat, can you just type your name and let me know that you're here? Because I need this documented. I need to show them what's happened here. So they can't keep getting away with this crap. This is ridiculous. This is pathetic. Okay. Yeah, I really might. I need to start advertising on Rumble and X. I think that's what we're going to have to do. That's just the truth of the matter. So. Okay. You said they have it on your screen. They have an advertisement over the like and subscribe button. That's weird. Does anybody else have that problem? What is that, on your phone or your laptop? That's strange. Anybody else have that issue? I don't have that issue. Okay, try this. Okay, so well, it'd be hard to explain right now, but yeah, I think it's something to do with your browser probably, because it's not happening to me. So I don't know. Like I can click the like and everything fine. So. Okay. Interesting. So it didn't send out a notification to me. So let's see, do I have it set to notifications? Okay, so do me a favor, guys. Go to the subscription. Go to the subscription and where it says, subscribe, and make sure the little bell icon is a solid color. If it's not a solid color, then they won't tell you about future shows and future videos and things like that. So make sure that's selected. Okay. Okay, here it is. So there's a okay, so YouTube put that little tag, that little fact check tag thing. It says 2024 United States elections, the AP is called the presidential race for Donald Trump. See more on Google. So this is an automated system. So probably any live show that attaches to probably does something weird to it. So whatever. Well, there's nothing I can do. I don't know. So we're just gonna move on, and maybe people will watch it later or something. But this is very annoying. But I'll deal with this. Okay. So first, what we need to talk about is there's a big problem, really big problem, and the problem is this: America just voted in Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. So the Nazis and Adolf Hitler just got elected and is about to take over America. And nobody on the left is doing anything about it. I mean, I honestly thought that if Hitler and the Nazis were taking over, that there would be craziness and everybody be going nuts and the media would be talking about it. And for some reason, Hitler was invited to the White House by the president within hours of winning. Okay? It wasn't even a full day before Biden called Hitler and said, hey, you want to come to the White House and have lunch and we talk about the transition. And then what was so shocking and infuriating is that Biden come out and smiling and everything. He's all smiling and he's telling everybody that we're going to have a peaceful transition of power to the Nazis. Even Kamala Harris said that. Now, how in good conscience can you do that? How can you do that? How can you say that he just had a Nazi rally in New York at Madison Square Garden, and now it's all, oh, shucks, we'll get him again next time? That's interesting, isn't it? So, if anybody who voted against Trump because you thought he was Hitler or whatever, well, if you really believe that, you're a moron anyway, so it wouldn't really matter what I say to you. But anyway, if you really believe that, then it's clear, it's obvious that they lied to you. And they said these things just to get you riled up and just to get you pissed off. And it's not us that you should be mad at. It's them. And also be mad at yourself, too. Something weird is going on outside. Give me just a second. I'll be right back. I want to check. That was weird. A bunch of cops, and I was hearing all kinds of things, and it's like hell's going on? Right down. I was like, what is happening? So, all right, kiddo. So, yeah. So, how do you explain that away? How do you get past that? And that's really, really pathetic, honestly. And once you reach a certain level of blaming and certain level of getting calling people names and accusing them of different things and all that, once you get past that, there's like really nowhere to go after that. So when you call people Nazis and you call people racist and homophobic, well, whatever it is, right? You keep upping it higher and higher, and eventually it's not going to matter anymore. And then one day, if something like that does come along, nobody's going to believe it. It literally is the media version of The Boy Who Cried Wolf, right? So it's always everybody who I don't like is a Nazi, right? That's what they always say. There you go. That's right, Phil. People were not buying it. But we have to keep in mind that a lot of these news outlets, they have a license. And there has to be some standards. And what they've done has really caused problems. I've even heard that there are people who have committed suicide because of this election. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not really sure. Sorry, guys, but these bright lights that I have to use the green screen, they're like right in my face, and I can't really see the screen and what you guys are doing or what you're saying. So, but if even one person did that, and it was literally because of what they've heard and all the rhetoric, then these people have to be held accountable because of the things they've said. It really is. It really is bad. It's not a joke. I mean, we're going online and we're laughing like, oh, let's drink liberal tears, and and they're all freaking out and they're all going nuts, right? And we're all laughing at them. But really, a lot of this is truly mental illness. Okay. Eventually, I'll get this correct. A lot of this is mental illness, and then you've got the people who are really just completely lied to and really brainwashed or gaslit or whatever you want to call it into just like, wow, Phil Williamson says you have to wear shades because the future is so bright. There it is. I'm gonna use that. I like that. So I like that, Phil. Nicely done. All right. So let's see here. Okay. Yeah, they've really done a number on my channel. That sucks. It really sucks. They threw a fit. Do you know the I saw a chart. It was like 90, maybe something like 98% of the people that work at Google and YouTube donated to Harris. So, it's really whatever. It's really pathetic. And Google is the number one company of donors of just like their employees and stuff like that. They're the number one. So thank you to whoever is throttling my account. I really appreciate you. You're a really nice person. So. But let me tell you, one day, maybe not, but one day, a lot of you guys are going to grow out of it, and you're going to have a real life or want a real life, and all you did was just screw people up and mess people up. So that's just how it is. One thing I've learned, and one that's very obvious recently, is that they have not learned their lesson. They have not learned at all, okay? They have not reflected on why they lost. So, why did they lose? It's the things they say, the things they make up. They're always talking about how it's the end of the world, blah, 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 and all this stuff, right? And then Trump still wins, and they don't reflect and go, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was actually that our policies are stupid. Or maybe it is that we've gone too far and we've pushed too far on people. And they don't do that. Their solution is to do more of what they've already been doing. People voted against you because of this suppression and things like this. I remember any of you guys who have been Trump supporters for a long time, or even just on the right, you probably noticed this. But for years, when we'd complain about being suppressed, like on Twitter, when it was ran by Jack Dorsey, or here on Google, or wherever, the same things were said to us constantly. Why don't you get your own? If you don't like it here on Twitter, then go get your own platform. Remember when they used to say that? Remember they used to say that on YouTube? Well, on YouTube, they said that, and then they went and made Rumble. So we went and we got our own, right? And when we did that, now all of a sudden they were trying to stop Rumble. Remember they shut down, well, for a little bit, they shut down Parler, and they several others that kind of popped up, but Rumble survived. But they've been trying to shut that down. And then on Twitter, I was constantly told, well, why don't y'all just get your own thing? Well, Trump opened his Truth Social, and they messed with that, and they messed with the stock, and they tried to ruin the stock for that. I even had some of that back then. But I thought you wanted us to get our own. And then Elon Musk buys Twitter, and they're having a meltdown. Even with Elon Musk buying Twitter, they still own, the mass majority of all social media and all online content. They still rule it. But they were throwing a fit about one. We have one website, which is X, that is in the mainstream. And they couldn't handle that. That was too much for them. And they still, even after all that, they still have not reflected and gone, maybe it's us. I'll tell you what, all the time when elections come and go, I've always thought, what did we do wrong? Like, was our messaging bad? Was it something that just wasn't working right? What did the opponents do correctly? Were they, giving people what they wanted, or telling people, that they care? And I've always tried to think through that. I remember I was really, really supportive. Yeah, I know. I was really supportive of the, Romney versus Obama in 2012. And this is before it was so obvious, about how bad these people are. But you knew, but it wasn't the level we know today. And I just remember thinking after the election, it's like, what went wrong? Like, what could have happened? And I remember thinking, okay, well, in 2016, we'll see if we can beat, Hillary, because everyone knew it was going to be Hillary, right? So, but I'm always looking, to what happened here? How can I fix it? And one thing that me and, we have a group of friends who get together about once a month, and, we talk politics, we talk all kinds of stuff. But one thing we were concerned with was if our elections are rigged. And the problem with it being rigged It was like, I'd been saying since 2020, if Joe Biden had won legitimately, I can handle that. I can deal with it. If the people voted for Joe Biden over Trump, that's fine. You know why that's fine? Because that means that we just have to work harder. We have to work smarter. And it means that, okay, well, in 4 years, we'll get them, right? But if you find out that the election's rigged, then there is no working harder. There is no, doing that. And that was why it was so difficult to handle what happened in 2020. I want to show you something. Because, guys, make no mistake, just because we won doesn't mean we get to spike the football and start celebrating, dump the Kool-Aid on the coach at the end of the first quarter. All right? This ain't over. This is just the beginning. Our victory is just the beginning. Let me show you something. You see this chart? This is the 2012 election. The first set there is Romney versus Obama. Then you got 2016, of course, Trump versus Hillary. 2020, the Biden. And then this one, although all the numbers not complete, but we've got a pretty good idea about where it's going to land. Look at that yellow line that goes all the way across there. You see that? This chart could even go back to as far back as 2008, where Obama had 69 million. It wouldn't bump it up that bad. But look at these equal numbers across this. 2012, 66 million. 2016, look at the popular vote for the Democrats. Then 2024, all of a sudden it goes right back to normal. What happened? Where did 15 million votes go? Isn't that a little strange? Now, this is the popular vote, what we're looking at here. And by the way, Trump's not done. They're still counting. Trump actually might reach. He'll get pretty close to his 2020 number. So in an unprecedented election, where all the rules were changed for most of the swing states, if not all, everything was altered into this mail ballot thing. It just so happens that he got 81 million votes in that election where you could do all that. Just so happens, it happens to be the election where we caught them, we filmed them, we have evidence out the butt for everything. Then he only wins 1 out of 20 bellwether counties, which is impossible to still win the election. He lost Florida. He lost Ohio. He lost Iowa. He lost North Carolina. And still won the election. No one's ever done that. How did he get over the top? He got over the top in swing states, but it all was coming from the major city centers, the corrupt city centers. In Arizona, it was Maricopa County. What a garbage dump Maricopa County is, okay? Don't ever live there. Please, just take my word for it. Do not ever live there. But all the votes came out through there, and we all know how corrupt that is. In Atlanta, it came out of, in Georgia, it came out of Fulton County, all that. Remember the pipes bursting? Wisconsin, a lot of weird stuff happened in Milwaukee. Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, it was all centered in Philadelphia. And then in Michigan, it was all centered in Detroit. Remember when they put the signs up in the windows and you couldn't see what was going on in the inside? So you may ask yourself, how come they didn't cheat this time? Well, they did. All right? They did. They very much did. But there was a big difference this time. One, A lot of the rules that were implemented in 2020 were no longer valid or in effect. And a lot of states changed things, removed people from the voter rolls, illegal people or people who should not be on the voter rolls. Maybe they're dead. Maybe they've left the state a long time ago. Maybe they're in prison, whatever. So we corrected all that. That's going to pull down the number pretty good. All right. But then you've got them still do their schemes, but we caught them at every turn. Laura Trump, the one who was in charge of the RNC, and along with Elon Musk, who had like over 3,000 lawyers on standby, we caught them, we stopped them every time they tried to do something. When all of the election stuff was happening, the last 2 weeks, we've basically been on top of them. And all election day, we were constantly filing and catching them red-handed. And there's a lot of these people are going to be prosecuted soon. But we were prepared for it. And that was the difference. That was the difference maker. They tried to do it again. They tried the same thing. And they were going to try to tell you that Kamala Harris was going to get 80 million votes. Uh-oh, Gord King here has breaking news. Arizona has just finalized their 2020 election results. Very good, Gord King. I like that. Maybe by 2027. You know what, Gord King? We'll probably land on Mars before we'll get the results of Arizona's elections from this year. So, explain to me how in Arizona and some of these other states have Trump winning by so much, but yet we've got Dems in the lead for Senate or House. It's interesting, right? You know what it is. But one thing I have to tell people is this. Guys, midterms matter. We have to start coming out in midterms. We cannot just come out just because it's the president and everyone's talking about it and it's a big deal and it's public. I know the presidential elections, I know they're fun. They're exciting. I know that the midterms are boring. It's like, oh, governor or another senator, another house. I know it's dull. It doesn't sound very good. It's kind of whatever, right? But the midterms is where the Democrats thrive. This is where they get their people in. This is why you know how we're like, every time something happens, we're like, how in the hell is there a Democrat governor in Kentucky? Or why does Mississippi have a bunch of Democrat congressmen or whatever? I mean, I'm just making this up top of my head. But the point is, how does this happen? People are asking, like, why is this happening? It's the midterms. Because they focus on it. And the Democrats, they really push the midterms really hard and they get their people motivated. So while they may have lost this election, because everybody was trying to make sure that Trump got in 2026, we have to be as motivated. We have to be getting to the polls. We have to vote. You cannot just put Trump in and then expect him to work a miracle. And when we're losing Senate and House seats, and you have governors who are completely impossible to deal with, you know? Gory King says, you know, that silhouette, you talking about the silhouette in my logo, the Patriot guy. Yeah. He says, it looks like Trump if you remove the back of the hat and the ponytail. That unintentional, but I like it. But we have to really focus on the midterms coming up. I know it's like we just won, but It's going to be here very soon. All right. Now, just to show you how important it is, right now, Democrat governors are already coming out saying that they're not going to comply with the deportation measures that Trump's going to implement, right? Now, this is the kind of pushback we don't want. This is the kind of thing. So what we're going to have is we're going to have a split. We're going to have, now they're not going to be able to resist everything, but they still probably would do a pretty good job of keeping the illegals in their states for a little while, until even their constituents start pushing back and saying, hey, if you don't help us, then we're gonna get rid of you and put somebody else in, right? So, but yeah, that's going to be interesting, and I knew this was going to happen. I mean, I was even talking about it. It's like, okay, well, Trump, he's gonna be able to get rid of a lot of them immediately. But wouldn't it be nice if we had governors that were more friendly, more willing to follow the America First agenda? So just be thinking about that in the future. You know, you use that as just kind of make a note of that. We've got to get to the midterms. So, okay. So one more thing I wanted to go over was the Trump cabinet. The Fox News and the mainstream, all the conservative establishment, rhinos, and all those people, they're pushing Mike Pompeo on Trump. They're trying to push people like that. We can't have it. Please, guys, I think I said something about this the other night, or maybe last night I mentioned it, but please go on X, write to people, tag Elon, RFK Jr., tag Vivek, tag Trump. I don't care. Just oppose it. Say no. All right? And Senate Majority Leader, say no to Cornyn and Thune and okay? A Mitch McConnell disciple as the Senate Majority Leader is the same thing as just putting Chuck Schumer in there. Okay? It's not. Remember, they are declaring war on us behind closed doors. Even the so-called Republicans. So just make your voice heard. Do your part. Like I said, this isn't over. The election we're just in the first quarter of the game. We got a long way to go. All right? We may be up, but we're not going to just sit there. We're not going to fold. We're not, you got to keep pushing. There's a lot to be done. Yeah, that John Thune, he said, I think that Trump should stay out of the decision making for the Senate majority. It's like, okay, really? Thanks. Sounds like a threat to me. Okay. All right, guys, do me a favor and click the like button and make sure that bell icon is selected, and we'll try to get. I'm going to contact YouTube, see what I can about this, and but we might want to start promoting the X platform and Rumble as well, because I'm not going to just pour all of my hard work into this for nothing. So some idiot at Google can just press a button and say, well, you know what? You don't get to have your voice heard, So yeah, we're not doing that. But thank you for coming, and we'll talk soon. I'm going to try to get a schedule out of when I'll be doing this. The reason it's been just like we just do them each night in a row is because the election week and everything, so all the news and everything is coming at the same time. But yeah, so thank you for being here, guys. I appreciate it. And again, click the bell icon. Make sure it's a solid color. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.